A few weeks ago, Warner Brothers and Amazon put out a press release to advertise their hotly anticipated cartoon, Batman Caped Crusader. As well as showing us a first official look at some of the characters, we were also provided with a small blurb describing them. One of the most headline-grabbing characters was this show's version of Harley Quinn. Before discussing the changes, let's go through the biography. Despite a personable and bubbly demeanour, Dr. Harley Quinn is a brilliant psychiatrist who treats some of Gotham's elite. However, as Harley Quinn, she is a different person entirely. A creepy, quiet, calculating menace who secretly dispenses her twisted justice to the truly despicable among her elite clientele. So, despite that only being a few sentences, there's actually quite a lot of information to unpack here. The first thing that many commentators have latched onto is the fact that their Harley Quinn is Asian American. Personally, I don't think it's a big deal, and I'm supportive of more ethnic diversity among DC's top characters. You could argue that it's a shame to change a prominent Jewish character to a different race, but Harley Quinn's ethnicity isn't really a big part of her character, so I have no concerns about her being Asian American at all. What I do find particularly interesting is the fact that the show is set in a pseudo-1940s world. This could potentially allow for some unique storytelling opportunities for this version of the character. It was doubtlessly hard enough being a professional woman in those days, never mind a professional woman of colour treating the affluent white males in society. If this show takes place during World War II, for instance, there is potential for Harleen to have additional struggles given that Asian Americans were suspected of spying for the Japanese, regardless of if they were of Japanese heritage or not. Personally, I don't think they'll go there, but you never know. The fact that they're prioritising Dr. Quinn's profession is another promising aspect. In the 1940s, psychotherapy was a relatively new form of treatment, and was viewed with suspicion, which adds another new element. It's also worth pointing out that the original Harley Quinn pretty much stopped being a psychiatrist the day she put on the red and black costume. Even in other adaptations, Harley's degree in psychology is rarely brought up, but it seems like the Dr. Quinzel aspect will play a more prominent role in Caped Crusader. One of the things that leaps out at me from this bio is the fact that as a psychiatrist, there's an element of confidentiality for her patients. Psychiatrists can only break that confidentiality if there are concerns that the patient is at risk of causing serious harm to themselves or others, or if they are in danger. As the bio says, Harley is a psychiatrist, a professional that her patients will trust with their secrets. Some of these secrets may very well be serious in nature, but as a doctor she would be unable to report them to the authorities. Some of these secrets may also be technically lawful, but morally reprehensible. I can imagine Harleen being powerless and enraged by the injustices taking place. Her identity of Harley Quinn sounds like it's a response to that rage. Harley targets the people that she has been treating and delivers what she views to be justice. If she's murdering these clients of hers, it shows that she doesn't really care about the financial repercussions. After all, if her clients end up dead, how is she going to end up getting paid? But perhaps there's no shortage of clients in a place like Gotham City. It sounds like Dr. Quinzel hides her true feelings behind her bright and bubbly personality. She is very much a mask, much in the same way that Bruce Wayne is a mask for Batman, which again, sorry to repeat myself, creates some more varied storytelling opportunities. One of the things I liked about Batman the Animated Series is the way that many of Batman's foes represent an aspect of his own personality. Two-Face represents the duality of Batman and Bruce Wayne, Mr. Freeze is a figure driven by the loss of a loved one, and Poison Ivy believes she's acting in the world's best interests, and I like to see that trend continue. It's also worth highlighting that this Harley Quinn is entirely separate from the Joker. In fact, there has been no mention of the Clown Prince of Crime at all. Will he even appear in Caped Crusader? As an aside, I think it would be really cool if he appeared as the Red Hood for the first season before becoming the Joker, but that's a separate topic for another time. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Bruce Timm had this to say on the subject. I co-created the character, so I have a lot of love and affection for her, but I thought there might be something interesting about bringing her on the show, not just as Joker's girlfriend. So how do we do that? A big part was just doing a basic flip. The original Dr. Quinzel was a little bit more serious, and then when she became Harley she got really goofy and weird. So we thought, what if we reverse that? When she's Dr. Quinzel she's a little bit more whimsical and fun, and then when she's Harley Quinn she's scary. This is something that DC has been trying to do in the comics for over a decade now. Ever since Harley Quinn comics became big sellers, DC has treated Harley as their fourth pillar alongside Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman. It's clear that they don't want one of their biggest characters to be an abused and dependent woman. They want her to be able to stand on her own 2 feet. It's just a shame that in many instances Harley seems to be more defined by her relationship status than her actual personality. Case in point, there's the fact that as soon as she ended her relationship with the Joker, she almost immediately became paired up with Poison Ivy instead. This happens both in mainline comic books and the Harley Quinn animated series, but hey, at least it's a healthy relationship this time. Caped Crusader's Harley seems to be bypassing the issue entirely by simply having her exist before the Joker and Poison Ivy, and that's quite a bold choice. I'm curious to see how she landed on her Jester theme for her alter ego. Can it be as simple as it's a play on her real name? Maybe she was traumatized by a creepy Jester as a child, and so when she decided to don a fearsome costume to terrorize the morally corrupt, a Jester was the most horrifying thing that she could imagine. Yeah, probably not. The colour scheme is quite a departure from what we've seen before. Almost every prior version of Harley Quinn has featured either red and black or red and blue as her primary colours. But this costume is yellow and green. I have no idea of the significance of this, maybe there isn't any at all, but I'm looking forward to finding out. I had initially wondered if she was partially referencing the Golden Age Green Lantern supervillain the Harlequin, but I don't really see any similarities between the two. I can't rule it out, but at this point I think it's unlikely. And that's all we know about Caped Crusader's version of Harley Quinn so far. I know that there are some people that aren't happy with these changes, but there are a few things to keep in mind. There has been a long history of race swapping in Batman media. See Eartha Kitt's Catwoman, Billy D. Williams' Harvey Dent, and B.D. Wong's Hugo Strange. This is absolutely not a cause for concern, and I believe that the people crying about this are making bad faith arguments about pandering to the masses. This ignores the fact that Bruce Timm is the co-creator of Harley Quinn. He, of all people, should get to decide how she is characterised. And really, you can't cry pandering until you've actually seen the show. So wind your necks in. Even if the worst comes to worst, the existence of this Harley Quinn doesn't somehow erase all the other versions that exist. If you end up not liking this one, you can always watch or read another version that's more to your liking. There are way worse things going on in the world right now that we should be directing our energy at, rather than getting upset over a cartoon. All 10 episodes of Batman Caped Crusader will go live on Thursday, the 1st of August on Amazon Prime Video, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm booking the day off work so I can watch them all in one sitting. Alright, so that's it for Harley Quinn. Feel free to sound off in the comments with your thoughts and opinions, just don't be a dick about it. If you haven't already watched my video about Caped Crusader's Clayface, you can watch that now by clicking on the info button. And stay tuned for more Caped Crusader coverage as we get closer to the show's release.